For those of you who have taught your dog how to target something, this exercise is going to go over how to target items that your dog might not be comfortable with and how to start acclimating them to those things, or how to start introducing your dog or puppy or very fearful dog to a new object. So today we're going to use my puppy Journey. He's a good example of a dog who would react to new objects in the environment, like his hairbrush. His brush he used to be afraid of. So we're going to go over what I did with him. So for those of you who have not taught your dog how to target, go to my website and click on the video tab. And there is a video on there on how to teach your dog to do a hand target, also known as touch. So you can visit www.thegoldcoastdog.com and then click on the video tab, and the hand targeting video should be somewhere in the video section. For those of you who have taught your dog to target, this exercise is kind of a continuation, only now you can start using that exercise as a way to introduce them to new objects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a brush, I'm going to use a wooden spoon, and I'm going to use some scrub brush thing that I have in my kitchen drawer. I have never found a use for it, but I have it. So we're going to use it. I don't know what his reaction will be because he's never targeted this thing before, so it'll be interesting. And then we'll maybe use a little small box that I have. I should probably put this thing down and I'll wave it around the entire video. We'll also use maybe a little box that we can get him to target as well. So we're going to get to work. The idea again is to utilize this exercise to introduce your dog to something new. Or if your dog is fearful of something, you could potentially utilize it for that, depending on the severity of the fear. This is a great exercise to use at places like the vet office with things like a stethoscope or the nail clippers, or even like a syringe. You could also use this at the grooming salon if the dog is nervous around the clippers or scissors, things like that. So this is something really good to use. My puppy actually was also afraid of the Dremel. He used to bark and lunge at it. So I started getting him to target the Dremel so that way he was comfortable somewhat near it. So that way I could eventually do his nails. So that's been a work in progress. So we're going to get started. I'm going to grab some cheese. You want to use something high value to reward the dog with. So I'm going to use some cheese because he really likes cheese. And we'll get to work. So there are two ways to go about it. You can either hold the object out, like what I just did, yes, and he randomly went over to investigate it and touch it. Or for those of you who have taught your dog to target, we could start saying the word touch, or you could even say the word check if you want, as something different. But I'm going to use the touch word because that's what he knows. So I'm going to just hold it out, touch, yes. And if he pushes up against it, I'm going to reward him. Touch, yes. Now for your dog, if your dog is really fearful or unsure about an object, do not worry if they don't touch this item. Just them coming over and walking over to investigate or stick their nose out to kind of sniff it if they're nervous but curious or they're cautious, just doing that movement can earn a treat for now. The criteria can be very low. So don't worry if they don't do what Journey is doing by actually pushing his nose up against it. This is just something to get your dog comfortable around objects with, regardless if they're not actually physically touching it. Touch, yes. If you notice, I'm not going to push the item towards him. Touch, he's doing all the work. Touch, yes, nice job. I'm going to use a wooden spoon now. Touch, yes. Touch, yes. Now, one thing I'm doing is I'm saying yes. I'm going to use this thing and wave it around. One thing I'm doing, I'm saying yes. If you're using a clicker, you could click. There were a couple of times I was talking before I did not say yes. I just fed him the food, but you really want to mark the behavior with the word yes or your clicker to let the dog know they did something right and they're earning their payment. Touch, yes. Touch, Yes. Good job. So I'm going to use that weird bristly brush thing in the kitchen. Touch. Yes. Oh, good job. Touch. Yes. Good job. Touch. Yes. Touch. Yes. Good boy. Now I'll use a little box. Journey. Touch. Yes. Touch. Yes. Touch. Yes. Good boy. Touch. Yes. Nice job. Good boy. Okay, all done. Put the cheese away. So, this is a great exercise to do to help get your dog comfortable with new objects that they may not be comfortable with, to help build their confidence. And it'll also help because you're there with them, helping them, especially if your dog is comfortable around you and trusts you. This is a great exercise to use. So now it's your turn. Get to work.